So before I even knew it, what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. We headed off with Kyoko in the lead, and where she took us was...
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom! What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
Oh. You want to check it again? Oh god, we're gonna look up the skirt,
Be sure
is that
to
it?
examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully.
Jeez, he's
like
gonna flip out.
using our hands?
No, wait, no, wait, no, wait, no, wait, no!
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just based on religious grounds, you know?
Yeah, right.
Very well. I'll do it.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura. What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about? That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Putting her hands together in a brief prayer, Sakura then began to quietly examine her
Be
body.
sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
Sakura's eyes were staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl is
what?
a boy!
Ah,
I knew it.
So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact.
Ah, so she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact.
What?
You're joking, right?
You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Then... It's really true?
Oh god.
Chihiro was... a guy?
Apparently so.
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the
Oh,
bat.
really?
Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
Okay.
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
Of course, like now you realize.
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting. Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial.
Yeah, let's do it. More trial.
Ahem. I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial.
Yeah,
We've
let's.
all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
I mean, I guess one of the reasons for hiding it was maybe to avoid being discriminated, being made fun of. Who knows? To think that Chihiro was actually a guy, the thought had never even crossed my mind.
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
True.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
And it also adds credence to that for the reason that he was not, or she, I don't know what to call this person anymore, for not like joining up with Sakura and with Aoi for exercise sessions.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd.
You're sweating a little, man. You got a little something happening on your face.
I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating situation!
She said titillating.
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
Stalling much?
He's off in his own little world.
I know, right?
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it.
Ah, well that is indeed true.
But
You're not convinced?
I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
More or
Plus,
less.
the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder.
What is the benefit of doing that? Like, just to enjoy solving the mystery, though?
At least, that's how I see it.
It was a bit of an obvious thing to just use the extension cord. I mean, it's kind of silly that nobody else noticed that, too.
And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy, if you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
I guess I'll mark it. Well, okay, thank you, Your Highness.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Huh.
Are you fucking with us right now?
It's like, exactly, are you, like, seriously messing around now? I mean, this is, like, what the hell, man?
No, I am not effing with you.
I'm
right
not
now.
effing.
I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead, find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say?
I want to know your reasons, man. Why are you risking your neck like this?
Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility.
True.
Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
She's so cute when she makes a face like that.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
What?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Yep.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
But if Byakuya didn't do it, then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's one thing we can be sure that we know about the killer. Alright, one thing we can know about for sure about the killer is that the killer is a guy.
I got it!
I mean, if it's like the crime scene, if the crime happened in the boys' locker room and nobody's allowed to enter the boys' locker room, it stands to reason that it's a guy, right? Since the crime scene was the boys' locker room, you would need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. But that's still not enough. I need to find some more clues. We're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna use here.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer.
Nope, that's wrong.
No,
Celeste did see him. Her.
I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Everybody's referring to Chihiro as a him, so I'm just gonna go with him from now on. Apologies for maybe any insensitivity I might be showing here.
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this.
Makoto knows about this.
The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag.
Why is her hair blue here but purple in other scenes?
And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
Oh, true, we didn't find any of that.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
He said something odd. Well, I'd better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry. Why is that odd?
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry.
Why in a hurry? Yeah, that is a bit odd.
But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
So, somebody else has been helping.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
Oh. Guys, is it Mondo? Could it be Mondo? No.
Oh, the marvel of friendship! The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
I do?
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Seriously? Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
The details of these
Are you
items.
sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
That is an interesting
What?
assumption.
You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket? The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Does Chihiro's jacket really hold some clue about the killer? Somehow it's really hard to believe. But let's heat it up. Could the stain have something to do with this?
First of all, we know where Chihiro was heading. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Because exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
Oh, Jesus, this is...
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
Are you saying there's something off about what someone just said? Ah, the blue tracksuit. Oh shit, it's
First
Monday.
of all, he was on his way to go exercise. So next
He
we
did
have to
say
ask,
blue tracksuit. He let that
why
slip.
did he choose the
So we should
specific
throw
tracksuit that he did?
Celeste's
What do you
account
mean,
at
the
him?
specific tracksuit?
At Mondo.
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because
That's what I'm thinking
it
here.
matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit.
No, that's wrong. Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said...
I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then I assumed he headed off to exercise.
She never said anything about the jacket's color.
That's true.
So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you just...
Hey, Celeste, what color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a
Oh
matter of
shit, it's
fact,
Mondo, isn't it? Why? Why would he do that?
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
the only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I just... I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died!
Cherry.
That's the only possibility!
And she's wielding her scissors. She's insane.
Are you talking about Chihiro? So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night.
Oh,
He
Jesus,
walked
it's
past
him,
me,
isn't it? Why
and
would
was
he
carrying
do
the
it?
tracksuit in his
Why?
hands.
Mondo, why?
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony,
She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
when Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Oh, man.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big
Oh.
bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from
This
the
was-
culprit. That's That's why you said you knew who did it. To put them on
Oh,
edge.
this wasn't particularly. I don't know. I don't want to assume this is the solution, but yeah.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question. There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick.
Oh. And I thought it was weird that he was calling him dude. I thought it was weird, but I didn't think nothing of it. I thought it was just the way he spoke.
And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You notice such a tiny detail?
I know, right? I'm just as surprised.
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
What does that have to do with anything?
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
I know, right? That is just so sad.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone!
Oh, Jesus.
You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah! He would never do something like that! This is a false accusation!
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come.
Why is his voice
That's
changed?
what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you'd found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Nothing.
Actually, you know, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Jesus.
Does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then, here it is.
What do you have there?
Yeah, what is that?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
You found it on the ground, right? Then it must belong to... Could it be Chihiro's?
I got it!
Yeah, because we didn't find
Chihiro's
on
handbook was
him.
missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must
Yeah,
hold
now
some
he's got
clue about the
confidence again.
culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
Oh?
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not.
They're not, he
They're
says.
totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
An awful lot, like, with the kind of strength that Mondo might have?
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
I know, right, Celeste?
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
Oh, now you're on trial, buddy. How did the handbook break? There's only one possible explanation. Its weak point? By hacking it? Maybe they were able to physically hack into it and destroy it that way. It's impossible to modify it.
Shoot!
Okay, so...
I got it!
Its weak point, I guess.
You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point.
Yeah, he did, actually. Now that I remember.
You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and 2 of them broke in quick succession, then
we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
You're asking me?
Of course we're asking you. You're the only one who
I think
knows.
it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Very not good. The grammar. Wow, what kind of headmaster are you?
Tell us already. Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example?
Oh, we pinky swear.
Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break.
The sauna.
I flippin' knew it!
How did you flip and knew it? You knew it.
because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
Oh!
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh?
Yes, 200 degrees is a lot.
As your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin.
That doesn't sound right.
If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried.
Is that how saunas actually work? I don't think they reach 200 degrees, do they?
That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Yes, sir.
Wow, interesting. I learned one new fact today.
Okay.
That is a
We're learning something in this school, finally.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
Oh. So, maybe... Wait a minute. Somebody took Leon's handbook, went into the sauna, realized that it broke because of the temperature, so they took Chihiro's and broke it there. I'm still trying to understand how all this reasoning has started, and if Mondo is really the killer, why would he target Chihiro?
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke?
No, that's it. That's it. Their handbook broke in the sauna. Then they replaced Leon's with their own. So the killer must have Leon's handbook.
They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that?
Good guess. Good question.
I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Whoa! Seriously?
We know two people who
I think
took...
the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
Who might have brought their handbook into the sauna. Really, it could only have been one person. It could only have been Mondo because he was wearing his clothes.
Here's my answer. Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Because it's him.
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on.
It just so happened. The towel on the edge of his hair.
But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy
he did it accidentally. Yeah, I didn't mean to imply that he did it on purpose.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this! Show me the proof! The actual solid proof!
I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but I found something that proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt. What did we find that proves it without a shadow of a doubt, man? What?
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See?
It's not his, it's Chihiro's.
Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words,
It's we have
Mondo's handbook
he
is
has Leon's
actually
handbook.
broken,
The broken handbook
then
we're
that proves
holding is
that
not
what Makoto
Mondo's.
said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
Oh, come on!
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Let's test Makoto's assertion.
If what he says,
You broke your own handbook.
in other words, if not, then that proves.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just...
No, that's wrong.
Nope, you have Leon's handbook.
Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall, isn't that one actually yours?
It is.
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own.
Oh, why, Mondo?
After
Why?
all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student.
Oh.
It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
I don't see how that's
Well,
important
Mondo,
because it just...
If I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch! What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong! You are wrong! You have to be wrong! Everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning? That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Climax inferences start. Finish the thought. So, Chihiro, Celeste... So goodbye, shoves it all in there, and here we are. Entered the boys' locker room with the thing, okay. And says hello to the culprit, changes. The culprit, wait, that goes there? I don't know. So Uses that. Wax on the head. Then blood splatters on the model. And he just picks that up and writes the blood and... Wait, the hell? No, this doesn't... Oh, frick. This doesn't make sense. No. No, this person didn't write anything. Okay, Alright, so... Blood was splattered on the thing, on the poster, and there's more on the carpet. A thud, he's shocked. Chihiro's on the floor dead. He disassembles the entire thing and takes the poster away. Picks up Chihiro. Heads to the girls' locker room. And then what? Puts Chihiro in there. Drops the handbook? No, that doesn't make sense. What am I thinking here? Oh, wait a minute. I think I know where I made a mistake. Use that, yeah. And what happened? Put that up there. And then in comes Byakuya. In the girls' locker room. Enters, and what does he do next? He's holding the thing. And paints on the wall. Bloodlust. Mondo, on the other hand, is what? Throws the handbook away? Is that it? What goes to the goes into the sauna from there.
Here's exactly
okay.
what happened. First, let's take a look back to before the incident.
Right.
Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag.
Okay. And she notices what it
That
is.
something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room?
Wait, so what was wrong with that? No, that has to go in there and then enter.
The killer is you! With bag in hand, she made her way to the locker. But how could the victim...
And yes, because she's using a boy's...
Simple.
A
because
boy's
she
e-handbook.
was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room.
All right.
Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him. And
Blood
that's where the
splattered
blood
everywhere.
stains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from.
Everything dropped to the floor. He's shocked.
It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned.
Takes off the
Which
poster.
is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet, then removing the bloody poster, and finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the
That's
locker
what I
room,
don't
of
understand,
course.
like how he did
But
that.
this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls'
fair
locker room
enough.
without much.
Changing up the scene
And
of the
that's
crime,
exactly
laying it
how
all
the
out.
killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch. That could have been the end of things, but no. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation,
Jesus,
making
he's
things
sick.
even more complicated. So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library.
Alright.
He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body.
Wiped blood, used it to write bloodlust. Oh god,
Then,
that's
using
disgusting.
the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter.
Is he just trying to show that he is sick?
And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget.
Yeah, because Hifumi found it in the sauna.
Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out.
Nice, I did a lot better with this one. And yep,
Isn't
it's
that
more.
right, Mondo Orada?
Oh man, why? Why?
Wait! No! This can't be right! Where's your evidence? Yeah! Where's your evidence? You need evidence! You need proof!
Dude, do you want to die?
Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him!
Evidence that Mondo is the killer. That already revealed itself earlier in the trial. All I have to do is check that one item of his and everything will become clear. The moment of truth.
Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! You're corrupt! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! False! I refuse to vote! Show me some evidence! You're wrong!
Oh,
I won't
I'm
listen!
supposed to be hitting triangle as well.
I refute you! False! You're corrupt! Show me some evidence! accident! False! Show me
This should prove it.
What? I still don't understand this this mini game at all.
Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that,
We don't gotta do that.
No, he's gonna admit it.
Yeah. Yeah, I did it. I killed him.
Why, man? Why? Final results A. Okay. Oh, got lots of coins.
Bro!
Bro,
What are you saying?
do you even lift?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting, no holding on. Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yank! Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully,
wrong one?
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Give it a yank. Why? Why?
What?
This time it looks like you got it right again. Yes, it is so. The Blackened that killed Chihiro Fujisaki was Mondo Wada.
Unbelievable.
In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kiyotaka chose the wrong answer. You're treading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimaru. You need to be more careful.
I refuse to believe it. There's no way he would kill someone.
Sorry.
Sorry.
What is this?
Why are you apologizing? Why? 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 Why did you do it? Oh man, I feel so sorry for him.
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mondo's taken a vow of silence, so allow me to explain on his behalf.
Actually...
The story of the murder this time is the sad story of two men. Oh, but for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can hit the circle button to fast forward the text. Anyway, there was once a young boy, and his name was Chihiro Fujisaki. He had an extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're so weak, even though you're a boy. He'd heard things like that as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and buried himself further and further into the weakness, to take on the fragile form of a petite young girl. He had chosen that as his way out. Now nobody will be able to say anything about even though you're a boy. That's a very, very twisted way of overcoming people calling you weak. But no matter how tightly he wrapped himself in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken root deep inside of him and it was not so easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear. Instead, it only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak. Weak, weak.
Weak, 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 weak.
Once the killing game had begun here at the school, he had no choice but to accept this fact. After all, this world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets, which of course included Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro is actually a boy.
Hey,
And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack, the armor would fall away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Even everyone figured being thrust into such a dilemma must have sent him spiraling into despair. And yet...
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I don't really want to talk about it right now.
But
I also don't want to leave things the way they are, so maybe I can talk about it later. After I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone.
Unknowingly, he used the threat of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
that's right.
Now's my chance.
I want to change.
I'm going to get stronger and accept who I am. Strong enough so that when someone says, even though you're a boy, I'll be okay. I'll get better.
With that thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action. And so, that day, he made the commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body. But sadly, that would be the first and only chance he would get at it.
Hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be good to ask for someone's help. But he wanted to tell that person his secret first, and then ask them to help him from there. And the person he went to...
Yeah, that's
it was
right.
me. Yep, it sure was. The biker gang fella had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were. So Chihiro probably figured that even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep the secret. Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was the very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro had always aspired to.
Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help give me some courage. So he went and asked Mondo to help him become strong.
That was his aspiration, and he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that.
Correct.
So then, that must be why Mondo did what he did, to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro. Huh? Did what he did? You mean that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room into the girls' locker room?
Indeed.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Wasn't that to cover up what he'd done?
Certainly.
That could have been part of it, but I don't think it was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he'd made to Chihiro.
But how does moving the body keep his secret?
Because
if everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity, so he tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook, see? Then Mondo did all that to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro, who he'd also killed. Why? Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? Why did you? Because no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that's what triggered it after all. The possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
That's impossible. Nothing could have been that bad. Something he didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing someone.
You're wrong!
It's impossible.
Don't make me repeat myself.
How many times must I repeat myself? To judge others by your own standard is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. That's all there is to it. Well, while we're on the subject, why don't I tell you? The embarrassing memory, that secret he didn't want anyone to know?
Hey,
You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother. What? Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraff across the country tremble. But the only reason he had the chance to join a gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother's name was Daya Owada. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. That was because of Daya that Mondo ever got on a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo can trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he imitated him in everything he did. Mondo was the epitome of the starry-eyed king brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang, and before anyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest biker gang in the country. Daya, the older brother, #1 in the gang, and his #2, his younger brother, Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy. But when Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang from his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation, began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul. The kid's gonna take over for Daya, huh?
Daya created this gang with his bare hands. Mondo's just along for the ride. Can someone like that really be our leader? All that'll do is make the gang look bad. Almost every day, Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of the other members of the gang, which is why... I gotta get stronger. Stronger than Daya. Once, just one time. No matter what, I gotta win.
Don't fuck with me.
I don't care what it takes. I gotta come out on top. And on the night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. But during the race, tragedy struck. The kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory, and dashed into oncoming traffic. Crazy Diamond. But suddenly... the name of the biker gang was Crazy Diamond. Laying in his kid's brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words. "My bad, kid. I fucked up. Sorry." Of course he knew it was his brother's fault, but Daya never blamed him for what happened. "Hey kid, the rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. 'Cause it's the team you and me put together. It's a promise between men." Oh man, that's just so sad. He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang. In order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother, he could never admit to anyone that it was his own weakness that had caused the accident. And as a result, that team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who'd bested his big brother. Daya was gonna lose to this kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad, he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother. I'm strong. Strong. And yet... As soon as our killing game began, he realized no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. And at that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light on his secret. Mondo killed his own older brother. No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I'd been carrying around, it all would have been for nothing. So that's why Mondo. After I saw what Monokuma had on me, my head filled up with a kind of fuzzy uneasiness and just started swirling around. I'd never felt anything like it before. I didn't know what to do about it. I wasn't sure what to think or say, but after a while that fuzzy uneasiness turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety way down in my stomach, and it was right around then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him. And right there, he told me a secret. Seriously? Jesus.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry I lied to you. But why? Why now? Why are you telling me this all of a sudden?
Huh?
Because, I mean, you've kept that secret all this time, right? If anyone found out, you're right, but...
I want to change.
I want to change. I wrap myself in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy that version of me forever. His words were like a knife in my gut. I felt like he was exposing the lie I'd been living myself. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong, it can't hurt, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us.
You piece of...
So what? You're saying I should just say it?
Why?
You're saying if I really am, I should just be able to tell everyone my secret? Huh? I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness, to try and overcome it. It was the kind of strength I've never had. So I was jealous of him, and that jealousy broke me.
Why?
Are you making fun of me?
Why?
I'm strong. Are you fucking with me right now?
No!
I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mondo. I felt like I could hear something starting to creak. Something inside my head. What did he want me to do? What was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to just sit back, let my secret get revealed and ruin everything? What's wrong?
Damn you!
Why did you have to tell me all that? Are you trying to rub my failure in my face?
I just wanted to...
I just really admire you. I admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. I am strong. Strong. I'm strong. Strong. Stronger than
you son of a bitch.
And stronger than Daya. I didn't remember anything after that. When I woke up again, he was laying at my feet covered in blood. I had the dumbbell in my hand and I was just staring at him down on the ground. Hey!
I killed him. I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo. He was normally so aggressive, so angry. He did that weak side away from He hid that weak side away from everyone. That was his secret. A weakness like that lived in a heart like his, and it turned him cold-blooded. God damn it.
Look at him. You see? You're all just like him. For a secret from the past. For a memory. For that, he killed another living human in cold blood. He couldn't cut free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. Do you see hope anywhere in there? 'Cause I sure don't.
You bastard. Just shut up, you son of a bitch. Go ahead, say that again. I dare you.
Yep.
Okay, I'll say it as many times as I want, is what I want to say, but unfortunately I can't do that right now because the time for punishing is fast approaching.
Punishing? You mean execution?
Well now.
That's what I promised you, right? The blackened that disturbs the peace will be punished.
Ridiculous.
Hold on.
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
For Mondo Iwata, the ultimate biker gang leader.
Wait.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
That is sad.
Mondo has been found guilty. Time for the punishment.
I wonder what it is. It's a bike. Oh, he's gonna drive him in a bike? He's got the same hairstyle.
The Cage of Death.
So... Oh! He left the bike. What the fuck? So he's just gonna spin him around very, very quickly until... Even he got exhausted. Wait, what? What happened to him? What the f... Mondo Butter. Jesus, that's... Oh, man, that was awful. Oh, man. No. Oh, jeez. Oh, man, that was too much. Such a sad story. Such a sad outcome. Wow. I mean, I thought it was just another accident, but apparently it just wasn't. The rage got the better of him. That's just terrible. Wow. I'm a little sad right now. Anyway, wow. Whew. Well, there it is. We've lost Mondo. And yeah, that's gonna do it for this class trial. One more down. We've lost 2 more of our friends.
Let's see what's gonna happen next. So if you're enjoying the playthrough, leave the video a like and subscribe to my channel, because it helps a lot. I'd like to thank my patrons for supporting my channel. If you would like to do so as well, head over to patreon.com/ikebana0. Thanks for watching my playthrough of Danganronpa, and I'm gonna catch you next time.